There everyone, Peking156 here, as you can see, welcome back. I'm back at it once again. Why, yes indeed, it is indeed that time of the day again where I am live streaming another Sonic game. Today, just as I previously mentioned, we are going to be playing through Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles as Sonic and Tails, as previously mentioned, since previously we didn't 100% this game 1 year back to be more specific, and without further ado, and without any further delay, let's get right into it. The last time we played this game, we actually 100%ed as Amy and Tails, which is pretty cool. And anyways, let's get right into it. The only difference being that we're actually playing as intended, for once. You gotta love the music. They really changed. I really recall this title being changed a decent amount of times. But anyways, here we go. Especially the music. Boy, was that controversial. And we have got ourselves a pretty dang neat collection of files here. We have 100% files. Not bad if I do say so myself. So why not start another one? I mean, the more the merrier, so here we go. We're going as Sonic and Tails. And here we go. On the Annuline we go. In other words, to give you some more story and lore, after the event— oh, hello to you too, Monsters Fight. We already have one person joining this early on. New record. Just a round of applause, thank you. That's dedication right there, thank you. Anyways, just like that, within the first 10 seconds of the game, Knuckles has already ambushed us, and boy, was that a nice greeting. He really wanted to give us a warm welcome. And speaking of Knuckles, that's exactly what we previously 100% Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as Knuckles, and boy, was that a fun stream. And don't worry, before you start asking yourself whenever I'm gonna start talking about lore, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So in other words, oh god, what was that? Anyways, the story of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, pretty obviously, takes place after the events of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where after the destruction of the Death Egg robot, the Death Egg pretty much crash lands into Angel Island Zone, knocking it all the way to the sea, which was once a floating island. Pretty strangely, but hey, hence the name. And during that sequence, Robotnik crash lands alongside the Death Egg, since he never got any more than a minute to even evacuate. And during that unpleasant sequence, he ends up meeting Knuckles the Echidna, as shown previously, and then basically manipulates him to think that Sonic and Tails are after the Master Emerald, so that way Knuckles aids Robotnik in his plan to relaunch the Death Egg into space to pretty much use the power of the Emerald for himself to pretty much destroy the island. Which, boy, is that lovely. I mean, he already tried doing so with West Island, and boy, we're not getting none of that. Anyways, but just like that, from Sonic's perspective, after getting rescued by Tails, or pretty much after just flying alongside him since we got the good ending, he pretty much just flies straight into Angel Island headfirst without a question, absent-mindedly, and already runs into Knuckles headfirst, which just so happens to have enough muscle power to even hurt Super Sonic, which is actually a thing. You really gotta love all that muscle power. It's the reason why he can't jump, and he even describes it in the movie, which is pretty funny. Anyways, here we go. Can't even push this. I have no idea why I'm even doing this. There are only 2 rings in Angel Island, but oh well. Might as well show off the new features. It is pretty cool, too. Anyways, this game doesn't play a lot different from Sonic 2. The only major difference being that Sonic has a new move, which basically involves giving him a new shield. Kind of. Basically, if you hit the jump button twice, you'll basically get a frame where you can't get hit, and where you can hurt other enemies, which is pretty cool. It works somewhat identical to enemy's camera, except it's obviously not as strong since it's a very brief period. Like, hello to you too, Rodney. Thanks for joining. Boy, we're getting a lot of people. That sure is good to see. Been really looking forward to play this game for a while. No sense, we might as well finish the original Sonic trilogy while we're at it. Here we go. Don't faint on me now. We have to collect 115 of these. Boy, was that fun. And speaking of which, they even changed the special stages. The way you access them is a lot different. Nice. That is always good to know. Wow, the post-traumatic stress, beautiful. Thanks, Monsters Fight. We have to put in as much lore here, since this isn't a documentary. We're doing 2 things at the same time. You know the good old saying, quality over quantity, so you might as well put in the additional effort to make a sufficient playthrough that's pretty in-depth and storytelling, so you might as well. Thank you. It is pretty funny. It is officially confirmed that Knuckles and Big Arms are the only 2 enemies that can ever hurt Super Sonic, apparently. It's a shame we had never really got to see any of that ever again. I guess you could say it was a somewhat reference in the movie when Knuckles punches Robotnik when Knuckles punches Robotnik when he has the Master Emerald, but that is pretty cool. Yep. Indeed. There it is. We have 2 out of the 7 emeralds, and I was about to say the way access them. Previously, you were supposed to get 50 ranks and then taken to a specific place, but that all changed here. So you no longer have to worry about not getting hit, and now you can damage boost as much as you please. That's all you gotta do to get a Chaos Emerald, is just find one of the giant rings, which to be honest, they're pretty dang easy to find, especially when you complete the Sonic 3 portion of the cartridge. But basically, you just have to find the giant rings in the respective locations, and then once you do find them, you'll be taken to a special stage, which is, as most of you already know, the blue spears. Once you're in, you just get all the blue spears, and then you should be good to go on. And if you get them all without touching any red ones, the emerald's yours. Congratulations. And boy, I have a lot more to go about. I'm not even halfway through. They really changed a decent amount of access in this game, especially the way the acts work. Now you're always guaranteed to fight a boss at the end of each act, whether it be Robotnik himself or just one of his contraptions too. Anyways, to access the next spell stage, hold right. It's that easy. And here we go, Blue Spears, a classic one if I do say so myself. Well, in fact, it was so memorable they even brought it back in Mania, and boy, you gotta love that. And in Mania, though, the only feature the Blue Spears ever functioned as was just to unlock the additional features, whether it be for the debug, the Knuckles mode, and Knuckles mode to be more specific, and of course Mean Bean Machine to be exact. It's pretty cool. Anyways, as most of you already noticed, half the time I'm usually just going for the perimeter, which is what you definitely want to be doing when it comes to Blue Spear, since if you go for the perimeter, if you don't get the area itself, the other Blue Spears inside the area will turn to rings, and you don't have to collect those, unless you want a perfect bonus and if you want extra life. But for the sake of not making this video take more than 20 years and make it a 50-hour cartridge, a 50-hour long cartridge, we're only gonna get the Blue Spear, since we only need every emerald to 100% the game, which is for the better, trust me. There's a reason behind everything, you just gotta go with it, I'm sorry. But anyways, just like always, get the perimeter and you should be fine. However, that really only works if the area of said shape is more than 4. If it's less than, then you just get all the emerald, get all the Blue Spears, since they won't turn to rings, and you might accidentally end up running into a red one. Definitely want to be on the lookout for that. I know, it's celebration time, got 3 emeralds, and just like that, rest in peace, Fire Shield. Since, as many of you already noticed too, they dramatically changed the way shields work in this game. Rather than just having one shield that just serves as an additional layer of protection, they actually added 3 for that matter. And it's obviously 3rd time's a charm, so you gotta go with it. Basically, the 3 new shields we added include a Fire Shield, which we just had about 10 seconds ago, which basically makes you immune to all fire attacks, and even turns you into a fireball which you can basically just charge into enemies if you're playing as Sonic and if you press the jump button twice. Though, however, do be cautious, if you do end up touching water with that shield, it'll wear off, and so obviously, the majority of water just beats fire, and the same goes for the electric shield, as you just saw. You want to be aware, the only elemental shield which doesn't have that feature is the bubble one, as always. And speaking of which, the bubble elemental shield is another new shield in the game. It basically makes you breathe in water. It's pretty cool, especially if you don't like dealing with getting all the air bubbles surrounding, for that matter. It's pretty cool. But again, do be cautious not to get hit, or else you will lose them. But to be fair, they again act as another layer of protection, so gotta love that. You might as well do something in the intended way for once. And then, as previously mentioned, there's the electric shield, which basically gives you an additional jump, which definitely comes in handy, and basically attracts all rings towards you, which definitely helps, especially if you're that kind of person who wants to A, damage boost your way to the end of levels, or B, get quick access to the super characters. Since once you get all the emeralds and you unlock the super characters, you're not done yet, since you have to collect 50 rings first before you can even turn into them. Since the rings, again, act nothing more as a countdown timer if you have the super characters unlocked. It's pretty cool, you might as well balance something while you're at it, am I right? Beautiful, I already messed this up. Look, here we go again. This is just like last time, and I'm never gonna learn my lesson. Commentary is the one thing that gets me killed apart from suffocation in Sonic games. Is that fun? Anyways, no one definitely saw that failed attempt earlier. That was just a practice run. Don't worry. Speaking of which, I couldn't even make practice runs. I'm pretty sure the only two games I ever bothered making a practice attempt were for CD and Sonic 1. Boy, was that fun! It makes and boy, was that pretty remarkable. Here you have a perfect representation of quality content, if I do say so myself. This is only the third special stage. But don't worry, though it is worth pointing out that within the first four acts of the game, which included Angel Island and Hydro City, there aren't that many giant rings. So don't worry if you missed one, since there weren't a whole lot of them. And we were only inches away from completing this special stage, which makes this all the more convenient and triggering at the same time. Whoopie-doo. Fantastic. Anyways, 4 emeralds, only 3 more remain, and just like that, 3 more giant rings. How convenient. This can't get any better than this, if I do say so myself. Anyways, Angel Island Act 2. That is the last of the emeralds in Angel Island Zone, by the way. Since in Angel Island and Hydro City there are only 2 per act. Boy, is that fun. They really didn't want you to cheat the game with the super characters. I mean, to be fair, that is why Knuckles ambushed you in the first place. You definitely don't want to ruin everyone's lives, now do you? Oh, nice, an inconveniency, thank you. Keep forgetting there was a spring there. Beautiful, just like that, I'm nailing my precision again. The #1 rule in platforming games. Be precise. Any day now. Beautiful. I should have just gone for it. This is a Sonic game. What am I doing? Oh boy. Is this about to get pretty? Nice. And just like that, another intentional hit as always. Beautiful. Ooh, nice. 2 for that matter. Beautiful. Oh, that is just a round of applause right there. Thank you. Anyways, this early on we're already getting another cutscene. And I will say this story dramatically improved. The zones feel a lot more interconnected, which gives another layer of depth, and I love it too. Especially for this airship scene alone. It's pretty cool. The way they even put this together was actually pretty clever too. They actually have to remove one of the trees from the background to actually even draw this thing as a whole, or else it would have occupied too much space as a sprite. Pretty neat. And they did the same for the Robotnik one. Just got rid of another layer of trees, and then they just put them in the back. And that's what I call layering and animating, at least. Beautiful. We're already learning about animation. Beautiful. This is a walkthrough. Fantastic. Got off topic this early on. That's pretty. Any day now. Thank you. Rest in peace, Robotnik. Well, I'll say the boss fights are a lot easier than ever now. They hardly put much of a fight. They only really have like 1 or 2 attacks, and then that's it. If you have rings, then rest in peace, boss, since you can just damage piece, as I previously mentioned, since you don't have to worry about getting the checkpoints or conserving enough rings until the end of the level. Anyways, there's our good old boy Knuckles here, which, oh no, he pressed our worst enemy, a switch, and just like that, welcome to Hydro City. Just be sure to hold left if you want a damage boost, just like that. And just like that, we're down here already. Beautiful. Now the $1 million question is, will I get the platform? This is one of the more RNG-based things. Please be nice. Please be nice. Please. Hope the game engine's feeling nice today, since this one fan almost never spawns. Thank you. You don't see that very often. I think it was actually the first time I even encountered that. Beautiful. I went the wrong way. Actually, no, it's a lie. I'm pretty sure there was a ring over here. Yeah, there it is. Beautiful. Convenience strikes back, ladies and gentlemen. Just drop here and congratulations, you have officially gained access to yet again another Blue Spear special stage. And I almost made a mistake there. It's sounding to fidget while it's loading up, but don't do it. Trust me. Don't ask how I know, and don't ask how I know, or else you'll run into a red sphere within the first 4 seconds of of the special stage. Anyways, this is, I guess I could say, is pretty much the introduction to the isolated boosters, I like to call the ones that are not grouped together. When it comes to special stages like these, I honestly recommend only grabbing them just so you know you've already been in a specific area and you've gotten all the boosters. It just makes navigation in these special stages a lot easier, since it's sometimes easy to get lost. To be fair, we are just running on a planet right now, wherever this is supposed to be. Pretty questionable, but anyways. Just loop back, beautiful. 10 out of 10. Quality content. Nice. And just like that, first try. You obviously haven't even used one coin. This is already going so well. Would you look at that? You got the control emerald already. You don't see that very often now, do you? In other words, the white emerald supposedly controls all of them. I've said this like 7 or 8 times now, and I'll never get tired of doing so. I'm sorry, I constantly have to point things out for people who are just coming in. And each playthrough offers their own surprise. Is that neat? Anyways, here you go. And just like that, I even forgot to point out that this is a water stage, as most of you already noticed within the first 10 seconds. And again, obviously, what would a platform be without a water stage? Not a true one, for that matter. Beautiful, I meant to go up, and we went the wrong way. Fantastic. Even conveniently put a hand right there. I'm getting the air bubble, thank you. Rest in peace, Cells, you'll be missed. But don't worry, it's obviously fine, as he has infinite lives and he's literally a killing machine. Clearly unmatched. No, never mind. We were going the right way. Beautiful. I've proven my navigation skills now. Thank you. Definitely trustworthy. I will say, for a water level, it did do a decent job putting the emphasis on speed. This is a water level, for crying out loud too. It just goes to show how the level design has constantly evolved throughout the titles. Pretty neat. We sure went the wrong way, never mind. We're going this way. It's fantastic. And as a lot of you already noticed as well, they significantly increased the level design too. Oh, fantastic, we even missed diamond. Well, thanks, Logic. Here we go. It's the physics. Anyways, second mini-boss. Here we go. We missed one special save, but it's fine. Rest in peace, this guy's basically dead by now. He didn't even get a chance to show off all his moves, and those are the mini-boss in a nutshell. And just like that, the next sign just dropped out of nowhere. Beautiful. It's pretty convenient how each mini-boss just contains a sign for an unexplainable reason rather than just containing flickies now. It is pretty weird, but just like that, there we go. Hydro City Act 2. You've gotta love these cutscenes, they're pretty well made. Of course, we are. This is a 100% playthrough or walkthrough, to put it that way. Since last time, we only got Supersonic. I'm talking about the streams of the last stream I made exactly a year ago. Well, not exactly a year ago, but close enough. Since we only got Supersonic, and we never even got we never got all the Hyper Emeralds. Sadly, we were on a good pace though, and that is what the stream's all about. Pretty much the reason why I decided just to replay the four titles apart from just showcasing the anime, because I was just taking this as an opportunity to actually replay these four classic games, just to actually 100% them all. Even wanted to make a guide, if you know what I mean, since I was unsatisfied with my earlier results. So there you have it. Some history, a lot more in-depth history on my live streams. For those of you wondering. Beautiful. Well, this is going well, if I do say so myself. I'm nearly running out of things to say, and convenience has just about struck me back. Beautiful. Not today, thank you. And before you start telling me, was there a generating over there? No, there wasn't. It was just an extra live. Don't worry. Don't ask how I know. I've played this game a decent amount of times now. Can't even remember how many times exactly, but I just remember I just played this game a decent amount of times since I absolutely love these games. They are truly a classic, and I recommend taking them whenever you can. It's definitely an adventure you don't want to miss out on. Nice. And just like that, convenience strikes back, and we are yet again going to another special stage, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, get the blue spears, everyone's favorite time of the day. Before I have officially lost the ability to talk. Fantastic, please forgive me. I was about to say, don't worry, once you get all 7 emeralds, that's not going to be the last special stage. This is where you have to play these again just to get the hyper characters. Boy, will that be fun. Anyways, the one tip of advice I do recommend when it comes to this final stage alone is just, again, avoid collecting all the blue spears at once. Just collect one trail. That way, when you have to backtrack, you don't accidentally run to a red one. It's happened to me at least once, and you don't want to know how that feels. Don't ask how I know. It's not like I just mentioned it 2 seconds ago. Anyways, here we go. With that fourth wall break out of the way, to put it that way, here we go. Nice. It also makes navigation a lot easier just to tell where you've been and where you haven't been yet. If you know what I mean, at least. Anyways, here we go. There it is. Awkwardness has spoken back yet again, as always. And just like that, 4 more emeralds. Beautiful. Done and done, ladies and gentlemen. What did I say? All part of my master plan, and everything's coming along smoothly. Even that one failed attempt I did earlier, which obviously no one saw. Anyways, 1 more emerald remains, and then we can finally destroy the game as Supersonic. Boy, will that be fun. We might as well. I'll take the 3 coins. I could definitely use more than 999. The max capacity. We're definitely just, at this point, just gonna grind coins endlessly. It's also not that hard to even grab them. Oh, beautiful. Went the long way, as always. Welcome to another play. Yes. Well, yes, indeed. Welcome to another playthrough where we're gonna get all the emeralds, and we're gonna get all the emeralds, obviously doing everything the unintended way, as always, since we might as well destroy the game. Nice. 100% intentional, and just like that, suffocation has yet again killed me for at least the 100th time. But anyways, this is fine. You definitely do want to be careful not to mess up any of the spell stages, since if you mess up, then if you're playing at least on the original hard, if you fail to complete a special stage, then you'll have to find another giant ring, since the giant rings disappear once you make contact with them. And before you begin wondering whether you can reset the level, it actually just reset buffering, how I like to call it, then you know you can't do that. You can't do it in this port, unfortunately. If you try doing so, then when you come back to that same spot you once were, then the giant rings are not going to be there anymore, even if you reset the level. Unless you delete the save file, of course, or if you've already beaten the game and if you just constantly come back to that one location over and over again. Nice. Double nice. Anyways, here we go. I'm gonna try my best not to suffocate this time, which is obviously easier said than done at this point. Beautiful. Does that mean we even have 93 rings? We only need 1 more, and then we can finally get to salute Robotnik. We're just gonna speedrun this the Mad Doctor's funeral right here. Rest in peace. Anyways, we definitely haven't lost any lives, and just like that, we should be approaching another giant ring if my memory serves correct. Just like that. What did I tell you? Whole part of your plan, even that one intentional death. Probably always reminds me of the one right before the boss, but it isn't. Never mind. It's because of that one checkpoint right there. It honestly makes it look like we're right before the boss, since, again, it's conveniency. Everyone's best, greatest enemy, as always. Nice. or I should say everyone's old friend for that matter. They could go both ways. Either convenience, he can get you killed, or it can act as something beneficial towards you. Look at that. So even blasting your way through stages, even just so staggering to watch. Since obviously even Sonic himself builds up enough speed to literally just run through water itself. Boy, is that fun, and speaking of special stages, there it is. Just go up and you'll find the next one. Alright, final special stage for now. Here we go. And as always, the music is more than appreciated. An unforgettable track, if I do say so myself. And boy, speaking of the music, boy, was that something controversial in the Sonic 3, in the Sonic Origins port of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Which we'll get into later, don't worry. So originally, fun fact, to give you a bit of history on this game's soundtrack, they were originally gonna yet again get composed by Masato Nakamura. I'm pretty sure it was feeling from the end Dreams Come True, but again, legal rights became a thing, and since they were becoming so popular, so they eventually then hired another musician, which a lot of you know, which was obviously Michael Jackson, who originally composed the soundtrack for Sonic 3, though unfortunately he didn't. He passed out not to. He passed out. He died a while ago, and yeah, again, copyright became a thing, and they had to change the soundtrack for a lot of these stages entirely, which include the soundtracks for Ice Cap, Carnival Night, and Launch Base. It's pretty sad since those original soundtracks were a masterpiece, unforgettable. I mean, they were composed by pretty much just the master of pop himself. So there you have it. All the emeralds and a bit of history on this game's development. Since fun fact, the soundtracks that were used for the stages that got their soundtrack changed were originally the beta soundtracks. Fun fact, which were reused. Since again, Michael Jackson unfortunately passed away, and we don't talk about that. You'll be missed. Rest in peace. Anyways, here we go. Super Sonic's unlocked now, and we can officially destroy the game, as Knuckles has yet again made another attempt to get us killed by pressing a switch or the worst enemy, and just like that, we're at the boss already. Anyway, let's speedrun Robotnik's funeral, shall we? Hardly puts about fight. Just like that, especially if we're playing as Super Sonic, since you can just do that. What is that? Would you look at that? Everyone was wrong. I guess the boss from Hydro City can also apparently heard Super Sonic now. Beautiful. I've officially discovered another piece of interesting information. A scientific discovery, if I do say so myself. Anyways, another phenomenal transition out later, and we're in Marble Garden Zone. Boy, I bet you're already getting Marble Zone vibes, aren't you? Is this a marble? It is in the name after all, so there's that one, Fred. Wrong way, fantastic, as always. Want to go down, since as always, you definitely want to do this the intended way and follow the arrows. I mean, it's not like it's gonna get killed or anything, by all means. Here we go. Spin jump, beautiful. Sonic has officially learned how to do it now. This is a thing. Oh, look at that, even there's the mini boss. Yeah, there you have it. Yeah, he turned after yeah. To be fair, that is true. Well, I did have one scenario where accidentally knocked me back, but to be fair, that is what happened. As the boss was as its death animation was playing out. In other words, Sonic just turned back into the Super Sonic transition faded away, and then Sonic just turned back to normal. And then Robotnik conveniently was right there, and his hitbox didn't disappear, and we conveniently got hit, just like that. To be fair, for a sec I thought I got most of you there. That would have been pretty funny though. Beautiful. 100% valid information, don't worry. This is perfectly fine. Anyway, speaking of Super Sonic, here we go. We're running into a boss, and this is a thing now. Just be careful not to run to suffocation as Super Sonic, and you definitely don't want to know how that feels like. Say by the time you get to Marble Garden Zone, you should have by the time you get to Carnival Night, you should have you should have all the emeralds, since in this zone there are a decent amount of giant rings. As shown, obviously. Beautiful, and I'm having a lot of trouble controlling this. Beautiful, fantastic. It's so convenient how my popular playthroughs are always the ones that get the most popularity. Well, the ones that are somewhat decent actually sometimes even go unnoticed. But that's convenient. I hope that just goes to show how my torture pays off at times. Thank you. That is more than appreciated. Fantastic. To be fair, that one transition where Sonic got hurt was actually kind of funny. It almost made it, even if it didn't happen, it almost made it seem as if that's what happened. If it's Super Sonic actually did get hurt right there. I guess they really delayed the removal of Robotnik's hitbox during his death animation. Boy, is that convenience. Anyways, we should be there shortly after a while of damage boosting our way. A few years of genocide later, and we should be there in no time, hopefully. As always, we're bound to be hearing this soundtrack this one thing for about 90% of the time, since we have all the emeralds by now. Hope you're not tired yet, or... There we go. That one mini-boss which constantly teased us. Now that I think about it, Marble Garden Zone is a zone, but it's basically just known for constantly teasing with the boss fights. It doesn't only happen for the mini-boss, but for Robotnik himself too. Since he shows up at least twice before you even fight him. For real. Which conveniently even happens in Act 1. I guess that's really just a theme of Marble Garden Zone. This zone does kind of have a looping effect, to put it in a very specific way. If you don't go if you really just stay in the same spot for a while, it certainly does feel like it. Even love how the music constantly just gets a lot deeper as you progress throughout the mini acts. And there is, in case you didn't believe me, how Marble Zone is a zone known for constantly teasing you. There it is. Anyways, just like that, a lot more architecture has been destroyed, which means a lot more lore is gone now. So that's a thing now. Rest in peace, Angel Island. For a second, I thought that was a gun ring, but it wasn't. Personally, when it comes to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, if you really just wanna get the super characters only, I'd say the only giant rings worth noting are the ones in Angel Island and Hydro City, since by the time you get to Marble Garden, you're again bound to be running into giant rings every 20 to 30 seconds. So definitely one of the easier zones in this game, despite looking a lot more like Marble Zone in a way. Anyways, just like that, in case you didn't believe me. We're going Super Sonic again, and we're bouncing on an enemy. Beautiful. In other words, the one enemy that's pretty much guaranteed to be the cost of your loss of rings about 90% of the time, since there are enemies which constantly camouflage with the spikes, and in this level at least. Well, the spikes themselves don't hurt you. They can't hurt you from the sides as they do launch projectiles, so do be careful. Beautiful. Here we go again. First, not even kill those crab stoppers, since they usually just jump when I'm about to kill them. I was gonna make that jump. Never mind. Guess we're doing this the intended way, unfortunately. Here we go. Nice. First time I even use that lift. If you hold right, I'm pretty sure you can even skip that boost entirely. There you have it. In case you feel like speedrunning this game sometime. Beautiful. We hit in an invincibility monitor while in Super Sonic. Beautiful. We're just getting a lot more powerful as the level progresses. Fantastic. Just like that, didn't even need the additional platform. Again, balanced characters, am I right? You can even skip that part if you're playing as Amy if you use her hammer. And boy, is she also a killing machine because of her increased hitbox. We went the wrong way again, as always. There it is, suffocation. Inconvenience strikes back yet again, since I missed one platform and that was the cause of my death. Beautiful. I wanted the rings. I have to respawn this thing now. Well, rest in peace. I hope you didn't just soft lock the level by now. Please bear with me. Oh god. Please no. Well, welcome to another Sonic playthrough. Oh, never mind. There it is. Beautiful. Conveniency strikes back again. Thank you. This is coming out so choppy. Nice. Right in the spikes, as always, and you have one ring. A new record for sure, thank you. Fantastic. I'm not gonna grab the ring. I'm not gonna grab the giant ring for obvious reasons. So I don't accidentally want to run to suffocation. The one other thing that actually has the ability to hurt Supersonic, as always, or worse enemy. Just like that, inconvenience. What did I say? It was bound to happen at some point. Wouldn't be a peaking 156 would have thought it. Now would it? Here it is, the struggles. Fantastic. Nice. See what I told you? Didn't even need the booze. I've officially proved my point. For once, I've given away valid information. Thank you. Apart from that one incident with the Hydro City boss, fantastic. Nice. Convenience, am I right? Anyways, back to deal with these Robotniks here, since I guess humans are apparently a thing in the Sonic world. Beautiful. I mean, there's always Robotnik, but oh well. Since we're not Supersonic, we have to do this the intended way, which is normally the way you're supposed to do it, and then spin dash. Unless you're Supersonic or Amy, of course. That is completely optional in that case. Nice. Anyways, here we go again. Any day now, thank you. All part of my plan. What did I tell you? This is all perfectly fine. See, we're even going the intended way for once. Beautiful. That's a record. Even avoid the enemy. Beautiful. We're just on a streak of doing things the intended way now. Fantastic. And just like that, I've lost all my ranks within a single enemy. To a single enemy, I meant to say. Fantastic. I've lost my ability to talk, and I was doing so well for about 2 live streams until now. Fantastic. Can this get any more convenience? Jeez. Here we go. Fantastic. Anyways, there it is. Back to teasing us. He hardly avoided suffocation right there. The closest of all calls. Nice. For once, it wasn't even an enemy right there. Beautiful. Legit object. Fantastic. Anyways, one checkpoint later, and we were almost at the boss, I'm pretty sure. And just like that, inconvenience strikes back again. As always. Nice. Double nice. Also, probably worth pointing out that you can actually even control Tails' flag in this game. It is pretty cool. And just like that, we can't even cheat the boss anymore, since we conveniently have 49 rings and we're only 1 away. Boy, can this live get any more convenient if I do say so myself? If we had Supersonic, this guy would have died about 10 seconds ago, but just like that, what did I tell you? He was only 1 hit away from death. Rest in peace, Robotnik. You'll be missed. And I even missed the capsule. Tails, please do me a favor here. Thank you. Beautiful. I can't even get the capsule now. We're gonna spend 20 years trying to open this. Beautiful. And I even missed it. I was about to say we're about to do something the intended way, and then Sonic just says no to that idea. Even he wants us to play the game unintendedly. At this point, the only thing standing between Doomsday and us is convenience, suffocation, inconvenience, and the game itself. Fantastic. Here we go. What did I tell you? And there it is. There's a soundtrack. I mentioned earlier, fantastic. I missed the original track already. If I'm perfectly honest, the original track fitted the setting a lot more than this one ever did. If I'm being honest with you, or in my opinion at least. And now we're talking about infamous controversial changes they even made in Origins. This is also the stage known for having the barrels, everyone's worst enemy, clearly. Since they even changed the way they controlled. I know I've said this a lot before, but again, I never really remember how they used to control, but now you have to press up and down on the joystick to actually move, or else you're not going to go anywhere. And boy, that was so infamous. They even made a meme about that. Is that remarkable? But anyways, with more changes out of the way, we're going back to spin dashing, to put it that way. And we're just gonna hope this doesn't take 20 more years to complete. Nice. Even miss a checkpoint. Beautiful. This is already going solo, and we even missed another giant ring. If you kept going up right there, you would have found another special stage. For those of you who don't have Supersonic by now, in case you were wondering, you're welcome. They might as well point stuff out that we're not even going to interact with for the sake of time. Just like that. We already have 92 rings. We're only just 8 away from getting an extra life. Now we're 7 away. Can this get... Oh, wow. Now 2 away. Good boy, can this get any more convenient? And would you look at that? We're at the mini boss already. One of the shorter acts in the game, if I do say so myself, since the length of the levels dramatically increased, especially since they were putting the majority of the emphasis on speed. Anyways, on to another pretty neat boss. This abomination right here. Normally, under normal circumstances, you can't even hurt this boss. What you want to do is you basically want to hit him once and then put him at his defensive phase, and that way you then want to get his own weapon to run into him, pretty much, or to bounce towards him. It just goes to show the genius of Robotic, who literally designs weapons capable of destroying themselves half the time. Which conveniently even happens to be the only way to actually put an end to them. Everything else has its own weakness, you know, so there you have it. Or at least every robotic contraption, I should say. Or a badnik, in other words. Just like that. Supersonic speed, here we go. Oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. Portion leads nowhere, though. You could go that way if you wish, though. It's really just for the purpose of grabbing rings. And since I don't want to make this video 20 years long in case we end up killing ourselves in the most inconvenient way to a barrel or to suffocation, we're not getting that, unfortunately, I'm sorry. There it is. The drowning music, my favorite. Here we go, back to Carnival Night we go. Also worth pointing out that in this game there are actually bonus stages. Previously, I guess you could, since previously the special stages were pretty much also the bonus stages, but in this game the start posts or the checkpoints still act as bonus stages if you have no rings. Pretty sure the minimum rings required to even activate those are either 20 or more, or 30, I meant to say. If you do grab enough rings, then congratulations, you might even get a chance to grab an extra life. You definitely do want that, and just like that, good to look at that. Can this life get any more convenient? I've run into another giant ring. Just a shame you can't get the hyper emotes until it gets to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Since obviously you have to activate that first sequence with all the Chaos Emeralds. But to be fair, they really wouldn't want you to cheese the game now, would they? Anyways. Oh yes, back to platforming underwater. I'm gonna be honest. To be fair, I guess you could pretty much say that Carnival Night is pretty much just a spring yard of Sonic 3. To be fair, at this point, it's just a pattern. It's just a pattern now, where every Sonic zone is guaranteed to have at least one green hill-like zone, and then one spring yard-like zone where it just works like a pinball stage. And boy, is Carnival Night no different. Tails, please do me a favor here. Thank you. The one time the AI gets in the way of the entire journey. Fantastic. As always, I'm going the wrong way. Beautiful. Any day now. Beautiful. So how's your day been? We might as well start some conversation while I try my best to get out of this inconveniency, since the game engine's not feeling nice today. Oh, never mind. There it is. We made it through. First try. Nothing to see here, obviously. And just like we even lost our rings, as always. Fantastic. Anyways, here you go. Up, down. Just press up and down on the joystick, and you should be able to maneuver your way. Hopefully. Oh my goodness. I'll never get tired of saying that. At this point, the commentary is just gonna keep looping back and forth between just random words from a dictionary. Since again, I'm really running out of things to say here. Apart from yet again the connection between zones, which we'll get into later. Oh, look at that! Knuckles is back, and oh no, an invisible wall's blocking us between them, and there's a blackout now. Clearly, the worst enemy of all. He's really trying his best to get in the way. Though to be fair, half the time it just results in just taking us towards some mini boss, or just getting us to the next act. I guess you could call it slowing it down in a way, since to be fair, there were alternative paths you could have taken if you were playing as Knuckles. Since, again, he does have an open anchor, and he does know Angeline from technically the back of his head, so there's that. That's pretty convenient, since he was pretty much the guardian of the Master Emerald, since he was the last of the echidnas, the last of his kind, the echidnas, so... There it is, more convenient storytelling out of the way. We'll never get through this since physics aren't feeling nice today. There it is, suffocation. Not today, my good old friend. No, thank you. Just gotta play the patient game. If the barrels let me pass, at least, thank you. You will not be missed by any means. Oh, is that convenient? Beautiful. There it is. Physics strikes back once again, as always. Well, let's call it clearly. You pretty much know the pattern of a lot of these obstacles. You should be fine. I mean, unless inconvenience gets in the way and you can't get through one portion of the level due to one obstacle, as always. Just like that. Functions somewhat identical to the enemies in Marble Garden Zone, where you can just bounce off them. Anyways, here we go again. Thank you. First time I even killed an enemy. Beautiful. Fantastic. New record. It's even pretty convenient to see how the spikes are literally just hiding within. They actually beautiful. I still can't type. What am I even saying at this point? Please forgive me. This is coming out so choppy. But hey, the lights are back on us, so clearly we're fine. We're safe. We missed a checkpoint. Fantastic. What even is this live stream anymore? So about to say, it's pretty convenient to even see all the spike, how most of the suffocation obstacles even work in this game. Since out of the time they're pretty much just inside a wall, and then they just come out at a certain time once a certain amount of time has passed, as programmed, obviously. Anyways, physics wasn't feeling nice with me today, and just like that, we did it. It only took us 2 tries, but no one saw the first failed attempt. There's gonna be an absent edit in the entire video, with inconvenience as always. Beautiful. Though we thankfully avoided suffocation a decent amount of times, and the one time I did suffocate to death, it looks like I even intensely did it. And as always, I even missed the giant ring. Beautiful. Well, to be fair, that's not much of a problem anymore, since, again, we got all the emeralds, so we're fine, clearly. And again, the only reason I'm not playing super is just for the sake of not suffocating within the next 10 seconds. And just like that, supersonic speed strikes back yet again as we have completely outrun the camera, and look at that. Knuckles giving us a good old greeting, and boy, we spent a decent amount of time on this level. 7 minutes, again, just goes to prove my point on the increased length of these stages. Okay, that's the thing. Rest in peace, Robotnik. We went so... Wow. Well, that's a record, and rest in peace, Sonic, Ice Cap Zone. That was by far the greatest thing I've ever seen. We were going so fast that the camera accidentally loaded the flicky capsule, and we so conveniently happened to land on, and then I just ended the boss fight, since every time you open a flicky capsule, the level concludes, and the game assumes you completed the level. Bro, that's just so convenient, bro. That is a new highlight of the stream. I regret nothing now. 10 out of 10. We're gonna get a world record. Here we go. Despite the inconvenience we've had throughout the run. Here we go. World record. Let's go. We're already so far behind, but we're fine. I know I did. I just explained the glitch. I just explained what ended up happening a lot earlier, and because commentary, I missed my jump. Fantastic. Oh, look at that! I even discovered another ring in the process. What? Everything's just coming together. Can't this get any more convenient? Gee, just look at that. My entire bucket list is just getting checked off right now of everything I would want in a stream. Apart from doing things the Nintendo way, as always. Thank you. Rest in peace, as we missed. Just goes to show how Sonic Origins didn't even bother fixing the many glitches there were in the game, since for those of you who don't know, this game was pretty infamously also known for having a lot of glitches which involved using the camera. Whether it be using tails to fly you out of a specific area and then damage you to then glitch you somewhere else using a wall, to then just immediately just skipping an entire boss alone. This game was pretty dang known for having a lot of skips involving the camera, and boy, we made a discovery. That is officially the highlight of the stream, and I am satisfied. Nice. Perfect timing. I specifically didn't want to take damage at that one point, which obviously led me towards using Supersonic, my ultimate weapon. Oh, would you look at that? Physics strikes back again. Clearly, Supersonic is not strong enough to push a falling block down. Physics is officially Sonic's weakness now. We found that out. He's not unstoppable anymore. Beautiful. It's worth pointing out that Ice Cap Zone works pretty much identical to Labyrinth on the way, except without water, obviously, and a lot faster pace, since what you want to do is have the time you actually want to land on a specific block to then knock it down, to then break a wall or two again, to then grant you access to the rest part of the level. Because if you don't do that, if you end up missing the jump and if you end up falling back down, you'll have to replay most of the level. So precision is key in this level. And boy, we're adding a lot more strength to Supersonic, since again, his movement's a lot more stiff. So, here we go. Just like that. What did I say? We're out of here. Let's teach the good old mini-boss a lesson or two, shall we? Anyways, there it is. There's that new abomination. It's just a shame you can't do this with mini-boss, since the only time the sign ever appears is when you kill a mini-boss, since it conveniently just falls down from the sky. We really did just pull a Sonic Mania earlier, where we just skipped the boss fight alone, and we saved 40 seconds alone. I mean, it's not like Robotnik was gonna put a bunch of fighting there, but still, that is officially the highlight of the stream, and that has made my day. Thank you. I'm more than happy to be here. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. Since yet again, nothing better in your lives than a good old day and a good old day of convenience. Thank you. Just loving life over here. Don't mind me. Yes, you've officially described you perfect way to describe Monster's Fight. Thank you. Anyways, welcome to Emerald Hill, the sequel. Since Act 2 actually feels a lot more like Green Hill Zone or Emerald Hill in a way, due to the amount of speed it's present within. One of my favorite zones, will say. And just like that, suffocation. I was moments away from death yet again due to my nemesis, suffocation. My greatest enemy, and Sonic at least. The one thing that can truly not be stopped. I'd say apart from that, suffocation was another thing that completely just broke the original cartridge in the Genesis version, since, again, for glitches like the one at the beginning of Mushroom Hill where if you got Tails to press a switch and then you got the wall to close on you could pretty much just skip half the level using that glitch alone. This game really does have a history with suffocation now, does it? And the camera too. Anyways, here it is. Here's the good old doctor himself, or Dr. Emmett, or Dr. Robotnik if you live in Japan or the US, and there he is. Rest in peace, and we unfortunately didn't get to the capsule in time, but 1 minute and 40 seconds, not bad. That's a record considering a stage in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And I didn't even get enough time to even point out the soundtrack that even changed. Again, it's not the same. Rest in peace, old soundtrack, you'll be missed. Anyways, Launch Base Zone, and again, I'd say another track they changed in Origins, where it honestly feels like a military base than anything else. It is somewhat memorable and all, but again, nothing compared to the original soundtrack. It was a lot more energetic and enthusiastic, to put it that way. Anyways, here we go. The stream has made my day as always. Thank you. Nice. Beautiful. Just my on-point precision as always. Beautiful. There it is. What did I say? All perfectly planned out. This is all going accordingly. Obviously. Beautiful. And I nearly got myself killed in the most inconvenient way possible as always. Here we go. Spin Dash. Thank you. I needed that. Not to mention we just made a glitch discovery about 10 minutes ago. Which I'll never get tired of saying over and over again. I hope you're not tired yet. Nice. Oh, look at that, didn't even get the monitor. Beautiful. Thanks, physics. Anyways, here we go. Fantastic. Just would you look at that precision? That is just a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Anyways, here we go. Supersonic Racing. Fantastic. Nice. Like how that one enemy is the one enemy that has managed to successfully hit me more than once now. Oh, never mind. There's the other inconveniently placed obstacle and that one enemy from Labyrinth Zone. Not gonna lie, they even as the games progress, the design for a lot of the baddies drastically changed. And in Sonic 3, they look a lot more like robots than ever before. And boy, is that especially apparent, given their new design. They look a lot more metallic, if you know what I mean. Rest in peace, Tails, you'll be missed. But it's fine, he's gonna come back in 10 seconds and everything's gonna be fine, and everything's hopefully gonna go back to normal. Just watch. What'd I tell you? There he is. Nothing happened. No one clearly saw that. I'm also honest with you, I'd say half the time you're bound to just be losing Tails in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, in Sonic 3 and in Sonic Mania just because of how fast you even go into Sonic games. Poor Tails doesn't even get more than a frame to even catch up to you. No, poor guy. Rest in peace. Oh, beautiful, and just like that I even lost my rings, as always. Fantastic, here we go. Checkpoint. Now that I think about it, I'd say with Sonic and with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'd say it's probably the game where they implemented the most changes. Not only with the music, but with a lot of the bosses too. Most of them, at least. And speaking of bosses, we just got teased yet again for the 1 millionth time. And oh, why, hello to you too, Knuckles. Beautiful. Just instantly bomb the building, and just like that, there goes more architecture, I guess. Rest in peace. Speaking of bosses, we're about to encounter a boss that was also changed in this pack in the package. But they really incorporated a lot of changes within Launch Base Zone alone. But anyways, here it is. We're killing Robotnik, screw this. Just kidding. Previously, you have to fight 2 of these things, but for whatever reason, now you have to fight 1. does go by a lot quicker though, we'll give it that. And Tails, as always, is just the killing machine he is, and he's about to just end this guy's life. Rest in peace. See, what did I tell you? The most helpful buddy you could ever have. Fantastic. That is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. And just like that, Tails has done us a good old favor. He cannot be stopped, and he's unstoppable. That explains why Robotnik even bothered kidnapping him in Sonic 2 for Game Gear. He just feared his unmatched power, since he cannot be killed, and he can basically just outrun him in Death Egg. That's the thing now. Now that I mention it, and don't worry, you'll even get to see it later. Just wait. Also, pretty convenient to see how Robotnik can literally build a base in less than 10 seconds, since not even Chris was there before he even crashed into Angel Island, the launch base zone at least. Again, just goes to show conveniency. The zone is also pretty clever. And again, this is another half water zone, to put it that way. They really just became obsessed with water levels at 5 Sonic 3. And then in Sonic & Knuckles, we never even saw a level like that ever again. Since speed, obviously. Though it is pretty cool to see the amount of pipes are just trying to control the flow rate of the lake. That way you could easily just launch the Death Egg back into orbit. It goes pretty deep, you know, and that's the Sonic lore. So there you have it. Just in case if you thought Kirby's lore was, if you thought the Kirby lore was huge, and boy, is that controversial. And that is indeed a video for another day. Swear to the matter, or else, if that would have been the case, this video would have turned to about a 24-hour long video trying to explain every single detail about the lore. And just like how you even got off topic. This went from being a Sonic video to just a Kirby video out of nowhere. Beautiful. Inconvenience strikes back again. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Just like that, obstacles mean nothing to us since we're invincible, and since Super Sonic's also a thing now. Nice. We'll take the rank. We might as well rank the game up to its limits while we're at it. I mean, we did just make a grand discovery earlier. Could tell about just nearly everyone's just gonna make a clip out of that. Fantastic. You might as well. Here we go down. We're just again gonna hang off of that one platform Robotnik used to spawn the mini boss. Or sorry, I should say the one capsule-looking box where the mini boss was hiding in the first place. Pretty convenient, and just like that, would you look at that? Really trying to replicate Labyrinth Zone even with all the identical enemies. Which, to be honest, are exactly the same. They work exactly, or at least they function exactly the same. The only difference being that is that they don't even bother to directly throwing their obstacles at you. I could say those enemies function like the ones in Starlight Zone a lot more. Start with less cars, since they made them look like they were actually a lot more metallic, if you think yet again. Anyways, we have 25 rings, which is, in other words, not enough to transform to Supersonic, so unfortunately we're doing this the intended way. Tails, please do me a favor here. And there's conveniently an invisible wall preventing us from getting to Robotnik. Beautiful. The meme just strikes back yet again for the 1 millionth time. Though this boss is pretty easy though. It goes on in less than 10 seconds, and just like that, we have become the Mad Doctor ourselves. We have completely taken over the Eggmobile, and good gosh, Knuckles is conveniently on a platform just trying to prevent us from getting to the Death Egg. Really gotta appreciate that dedication, but unfortunately this happens, and rest in peace. The launch sequence of the Death Egg just caused an earthquake altogether, which led to that one pillar just collapsing, and then unfortunately Knuckles just going for a swim. Sure, Beat's having fun. We're not going to see him until Mushroom Hill. Which, speaking of which, that leads us into 2 more boss fights. Conveniently, you have to fight three bosses consecutively, and they're all Robotnik. I will say, the first 2 really don't put much of a fight. They're pretty much a joke. Anyways, the beam rocket. Don't believe me, there you have it. Hardly puts up a fight. Especially when he's going up. He's even about to die too. And you even can't fault the sage as Tails demonstrated right there. Just like that, rest in peace Robotnik. You'll be missed. But not really, as this is another implemented change they made, the return of big arms. Previously, if you put the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge with Sonic 3, so that cartridge had the lock-on feature to play the game as originally intended. This boss was originally removed from that package, and in its place was just the Beam Rocket fight. But boy, am I glad they brought it back. One of my favorite bosses, and boy, is a theme more than ever memorable. It's pretty intense, and I love it too. And I might as well also give some more development history while we're at it too. Originally, as mentioned 2 microseconds ago, this game, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles were Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were originally meant to be one package. Though the only reason why this game never came to be as a whole, or as intended, was again due to time. Everyone's good old friend. Long story short, this game was meant to have a McDonald's promotion, and because of that, they had to finish the game quickly. So they never got enough time to implement the remaining levels originally meant to be in the original cartridge as a whole. So as a result, the game was divided into 2 halves: the Sonic 3 half and then the Sonic and Knuckles half. Which is again another reason why for the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge they made it a lock-on feature. That way you could play the game as originally intended. And that game only featured Mushroom Hill Zone to Doomsday Zone, while Sonic 3 featured Angel Island to Launch Base. I will say, I'm glad it came to be, since if the cartridge was never lock-on feature, never had a lock-on feature, you might have never even been able to play as Knuckles in Sonic 2. Boy, was that a neat feature. Unfortunately, you couldn't play as Knuckles in Sonic 1, since it just didn't have the power to do so. If you did put it in with Sonic 1, it would just take you to Blue Spears. And a ridiculous amount of Blue Spears level for that matter too, and boy, was that also another infamous decision. And just like that, they even changed a lot of the cutscenes too. Just like that, Big Arms has been defeated, and just like that, the Death Egg has once again, we have sent the Death Egg once more crash landing into Angel Island. Though I will say, I do like the new transition better than the old one. Gives another layer of death, and just like that, there goes Rebonding, as he once again has to go rebuild an entire launch base then to get the egg, get the super weapon back into orbit, and just like that, there it is. It's in Lava Reef now. In other words, a literal volcano. Yeah, it's definitely in a much better place than it once was, definitely. Anyways, it's been an hour, that's a record, and just like that, there's our good old boy Knuckles, who's thankfully recovered from whatever happened in whatever was supposed to even happen in Launch Base, and then just like that, a switch, how convenient. And as always, curiosity is bound to let you into this chamber in the first place, and just like that, we skipped half the game and we're in Hidden Palace Zone. The second Hidden Palace to be more specific. Or the Hidden Palace in Sonic 3 in Knuckles. But it's pretty cool. If you do end up deciding to go for these, you will unlock the Hyper Emerald stages, which means more Blue Spear stages indeed, where if you get them all, you unlock the Hyper characters, and boy, if you end up getting those, then rest in peace for Bonnie, as you basically beat the game. It's pretty cool, where basically the Emeralds, the Chaos Emeralds you get them to officially reach their full potential. It's pretty cool, and that's all the more lore, and boy, is that ever more than appreciated. If we're gonna make a video more than an hour long, we might as well make it somewhat interesting, if you know what I mean. Anyways, it's a special stage. Also worth pointing out, you can even control the direction in which you're moving. If you end up getting hit by a bumper, just, again, move the joystick up, and then you should start moving forward again, assuming you press it at the right time. Controls are also pretty responsive too. Boy, are these stages more than ever memorable before. And just like that, we even accidentally did whatever the heck that was supposed to be. Nice. Again, convenience strikes back, ladies and gentlemen, since we pretty much just got the perimeter by accident. 100% intentional by all means. And just like that, first try, and that is the first Super Blue Spear stage, to put it that way. I have no idea what I was still supposed to say, but what I meant to say was that is another Blue Spear stage out of the way, and that is our first Super Emerald, ladies and gentlemen. We have to collect 70 of these, by the way, and here's the best part. we have to do this again, but as Knuckles, which is obviously the best part of all. So don't worry, replayability is more than ever before welcome. Anyways, Mushroom Hill Act 1. If you were playing on Genesis, you worst could make it glitchy with this switch, but we're not going to do that for obvious reasons, so here we go. I don't want to die to this location and then just make another embarrassing moment in the live stream. I'm sorry, it's just for everyone's sake. Pretty sure they even patched that glitch if I remember correctly. One of the more infamous ones. I'm pretty sure we're even going the wrong way. Fantastic. Oh, never mind, we're going the right way. If I remember correctly, there are only 4 giant rings in Mushroom Hill Act 1. There are definitely a lot more in Act 2, though. Especially when the season starts to change. Anyways, let's find ourselves like some more good old giant rings, shall we? Back to the age of exploration we go, indeed. Nice. You might have to backtrack a bit, but it's fine. Beautiful. 100% intentional, clearly. Oh, just look at that. Inconvenience strikes back again. I was waiting for Kelsey to get out of the way. Anyways, here we go. I hope I did this right. Yeah, we did. I have a feeling we missed about 1,000 special stages, but oh, never mind. There's one down there. Fantastic. See what I tell you. All part of a master plan, clearly. Convenience strikes back once more. We missed a special stage, but it's fine. We might come back to it later. Anyways, here we go. Second Blue Spear. Blue Spear stage, I meant to say. Anyways, here we go again. What abomination awaits ahead? Well, let's find out. So this one again. Again, jumping's a thing, so just only go for perimeter and you should be fine. Trust me. I mean, it's not like you're hearing this for the first time or anything. I mean, clearly I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, so you should be fine. And just like that, I made my own commentary has caused my death, since again my lack of attention. Beautiful. Well, that's a round of applause right there. Just 10 out of 10. Should even run the wrong way. Especially just like for the Blue Spear stages alone, I honestly recommend getting the isolated Blue Spears first, since they're usually the hard ones to grab once the pacing speeds up. Since as most of you already noticed by now, the longer you spend in a Blue Spear stage, the faster it gets, the quicker it gets. So it is recommended to grab the isolated Blue Spears first. That way, they're not much of a chance to then grab later. Just like that. What did I tell you? The one time my control doesn't accurately respond. Fantastic. Anyways, here we go. This is exactly what I meant before. Go for inconveniently placed Blue Spears like these. It is. Now that I think about it, yeah. To be fair, the Mushroom Hill Zone pretty much just made an appearance made another appearance in the movie. Since that one planet where Robotnikon sent you in the end of the movie is hypothetically Mushroom Hill Zone. Pretty cool. It goes to show how they even bother referencing zones from older Sonic games. If I'm being honest, I'd say my favorite aspect of the Sonic movies was the fact that they put a lot more retro references rather than any of the new stuff. Because again, in my opinion, the Sonic games on the Genesis are the best Sonic games that exist, in my opinion. And if you're asking me, I'd say Sonic, given the many ups and given the roller coaster ride Sonic's had over his lifespan, I'd say a character like him with his level design is a lot more suited for 2D than 3D, in my opinion. Since the 3D games pretty much just caused the downfall of Sonic. 2 Super Emeralds actually. We have two Super Emeralds, and we have to collect 5 more, which means backtracking. Oh boy, my favorite. Anyways, let's go back to the Age of Exploration, shall we? Because I'm pretty sure you missed something over here. Nice. Anyways, here we go again. just loop back, but it's fine. We're perfectly fine. This is all going accordingly, definitely. The one time where you want to alternate between moving up and down. Pretty convenient if I do say so myself. Anyways, here we go. And don't worry, there wasn't a special stage up there, thankfully. Just like that, slow and steady wins the race, obviously. Oh, beautiful! Even nature's turned against us now. Fantastic. The one thing we were supposed to be helping from the beginning. Want to go down? No, I'm sorry, Tails. No, thank you. Thank you. Here we go again. Pretty sure you went the wrong way, but it's fine. You even discovered a blue sphere stage. Never mind. What did I tell you? See, all part of my master plan. This is all planned from the very beginning, even before I started live streaming. Just goes to show convenience, am I right? Anyways, back to blue spheres. Back to collecting blue spheres we go. Might as well even start pointing out a lot of the references in the movie, since I'm really just running out of things to talk about here. It's not the easiest thing to spot. For most, it might not be the easiest thing to spot out, but the blue sphere stages are referenced in the original, in the first and second movies, within the first movie obviously being referenced within the credits itself, and then the second movie being referenced within the map. It's there. You just have to look closely, but the one planet does resemble the blue sphere stages, or the special stages from Sonic 3, in other words. Since again, we're technically running on a planet here. That was pretty much the idea of the blue sphere stages in the first place. So there you have it. More story, and that was fast. But anyways, new record, and just like that, the Magenta Emerald has been acquired once more, ladies and gentlemen, and that only leaves 4 emeralds out of the question, or 3 emeralds out of the question, I meant to say. Nice. Indeed, first try, that's the first, and if I do say so myself. Only 4 emeralds remain, and you know what that means. 4 more giant rings, since again, convenience is a thing now. Mushroom Hill Zone Act 1, oh goody, what abomination awaits ahead. Can't wait to see for myself. Going up, for obvious reasons. What did I tell you? All went accordingly. Even a special stage over here. Oh, beautiful. And just like that, inconvenience has once again got in my way. Thank you. Not today, thank you, I meant to say. At this point, I have no idea what my commentary has turned into. Fantastic. You want to go this way, and you definitely want to grab the electric shield, since it does make precision a lot easier. And just like that, next special stage, ladies and gentlemen. I think Sonic and Knuckles have, in my opinion, the best special stage level design, just because of how replayable they are. I'd say Sonic 2 takes a clean second place, just because you have to be sure not to get hit. You have to be sure not to get hit, which pretty much leads to playing a lot more carefully. Meanwhile, in Sonic 3, you could just risk it all you want. Since, to be fair, curiosity is the one thing that's pretty much just going to lead you to even finding the special stages in the first place. So they're a lot easier to find in this. They're a lot more replayable in this game. You just have to worry about finding the giant rings, and then the rest is just up to you. And then the rest is just up to precision, pretty much. It's all worth pointing out that Sonic can only move in the lines. He can never move inside the squares themselves. Within the special stages, at least, he can only move in lines. Yep, it's about to be 4 emeralds, assuming I can successfully navigate my way without looping about 10 million times. Anyways, here we go again. Oh goody. Just like that, done and done. What did I tell you? Easier done than said, and just like that, the green super emerald to be exact, has once more been acquired. Thank you. For the second time, and we have to do this again. That's Knuckles. Oh boy, will that be fun! Especially since he can't jump high. Yeah, you pretty much just described the situation from. I like how you pretty much just described the same situation from Hydro City twice now. That is pretty funny. It's just so convenient, since again, oh my god, I can't talk, please forgive me. What I meant to say was, just as the way you asked me to put it, every time Sonic you beat a boss as one of the super or hybrid characters, they turn back to normal. So there is one point where you can get hit again. Since the type of death animation does take a while to actually complete. But anyways, just like that, there it is. That is Act 1. You can even bounce the slime around, and if you get him to land in the right place, you can even uncover some hidden monsters, which is pretty dang cool, if I do say so myself. It makes gathering rings and shields a lot easier, too. Act 2. Oh, goody. Here we go. Oh, boy, what abomination awaits. Oh, no. A switch. Here we go again, and as always, it's power to control the wind itself, and would you look at that? It's been 4 months, and it's autumn now, or fall. Whichever you prefer. Anyways, here we go again. Beautiful. Well, I do love how the seasons even change in Mushroom Hill alone. I'd say one of my favorite zones is Sonic and Knuckles, just again because of the creativity put into it. Just something worth looking at, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I can't make my way back up there conveniently. So here we go, going down again. Pretty sure I missed a special stage, but it's fine. This is one of the more generous acts, since Mushroom Hill Act 2 is not only one of the longer acts, but it also has a lot. It also contains a lot more special stages too. It's always nice to see. Okay, so I'm going up for obvious reasons. Usually, when it comes to Sonic levels, you usually want to go up as high as possible. Just like that. Convenience. Even random walls, beautiful. Might as well get the additional style points while we're at it, if you know what I mean. And would you look at that? What did I tell you? All part of my plan. Know this like the back of my head. Anyways, next special stage, or Blue Spear stage to be more specific. For this special stage, I just recommend going the way, not changing the direction which you start in. It makes navigation and getting the Blue Spears a lot easier too. What did I tell you? Done and done. We weren't going fast enough, and we were pretty early on in time. We missed the rings, but it's fine. The special stages in Sonic 3 and Knuckles are pretty easy still. Anyways, here we go again. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, done and done. That leaves 5 emeralds out of the question and 2 remain. Oh boy, will that be fun. Which, you know what that means. Conveniently, 2 more giant rings. Here we go again. This is about to get fun. And then we have to do this again as Knuckles, which we'll get into later. Spoiler alert. Since conveniently, when you play as Knuckles, that takes place after the events of Sonic 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, or after the destruction of Death Egg, to put it that way. Since the final zone in the Knuckles campaign is actually Sky Sanctuary Zone. Pretty cool, but I'm not going to spoil it for you guys since we're not there yet. No thank you. Rest in peace, folks. You'll be missed. I even love this bad egg itself. The chicken himself. Beautiful. Rest in peace. See you in Mania, I guess. In Studiopolis Zone, so be more specific. Well, here we go again. You will definitely want to hit the spring and do not jump off here, for there's conveniently another special stage over here. And with that only leaves 1 out of the question. Here we go. Next special stage in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Again, as I said before, leave the control stick neutral for this one when you start. And so you definitely do not want to go the wrong way. You actually might end up messing up the special stage. You definitely don't want that. Even glad they brought back the original special stages in Mania. Pretty cool. Not to mention that in Mania, they even added their own Blue Spear stages. Always nice to see. You can even say that in Mania, there's a lot more motivation to get all the rings, since you do get a nice bonus for getting all the rings. And in that game, you earn tokens when you complete a Blue Spear stage, at least. And those tokens, obviously, unlock the other features in the game. Which we'll get into later, for that is a video for another day since we're not in Mania yet, since we have to beat Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles to even get to that game, according to the timeline, since Supposedly that game takes place after the events of, after the destruction of Death again, after the destruction of Metal Sonic. Nice. Just like that. Beautiful. For a second, for a weird second, I thought the channel was just looping for a while, since I was constantly just seeing the same content over and over again. Pretty weird, but anyways. Just like that, it's obviously been 2 more months, and it's winter now. This just goes to show how much time we've spent in Mushroom Hill Zone. In other words, yes, 2 minutes and 28 and 30 seconds is all it takes to change the season in Mushroom Hill. Literally. There's actually even a story behind it, which we'll get into later, but hey, would you look at that? Convenience that my best friend has once again showed up, and with that out of the way, 1 more blue sphere. Here we go, final one. Hope you're ready. Again, the same goes for this one as the last one. The only difference being that this is, in my opinion, the easiest one. For this one, again, I recommend grabbing things just to notify you that you've already been to a specific area. And another thing you definitely want to keep in mind when it comes to this blue sphere stage is to always go to the space where there aren't any yellow spheres, since chances are there's an opening there, and you definitely want to collect the blue spheres in that opening itself. Just a tip, which you definitely want to keep in mind. And again, it makes navigation a lot easier. Just like that. What did I say? But with that tip out of the way, this final stage just end pretty quickly. One of the shorter ones too. That's a lie. I'd say all the blue spheres actually share around the same length. They're all equally. I could say they're all short, in my opinion. In my experience, at least. Since I'm technically multitasking, you're doing 2 things at the same time, since I'm both commentating and playing the game. Yeah, definitely a good idea. And boy, has that act towards my benefit. Definitely. Anyways, wanna go this way. Just like that. What did I say? What did I tell you? Done and done, and just like that, Hypersonic has been unlocked once more, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The final super rare mode, the red one, and beautiful. The timeline has been restored since Hypersonic is canon, and just like that, rest in peace Robotnik, since we're officially gonna break the game. And boy, I'm honestly, I'd say Hypersonic is, in my opinion, the best looking sprite in the entire game. It's just so satisfying to watch the effects put into it. Top notch, if I do say so myself. But here we go. Gotta love the additional cutscenes and just how dramatic it is. And there it is. Now Sonic can be a Hypersonic. This was all worth it. And as always, it all went according to plan. And hey, there it is. We conveniently have more than 50 rings. So here we go. Let's break the game, shall we? There it is. There's that beauty. He basically controls the exact same as Supersonic, but the only major difference being that he can do this, where he basically just snaps the screen like that and can put an end to any enemy that comes into contact with him. Just a shame he didn't appear so often after the events of this game. But anyway, just like that, it is revealed that Robotnik was the one changing the seasons the entire time. But we're not having any of that, since no thank you. It's 1994. The internet's not a thing now. Rest in peace. It's almost dead, and just like that, 10 seconds later, and even Tails tried sabotaging us, and rest in peace Robotnik. That only took 3 minutes. Just a shame it was a tree in Sounding Way, or else we could have, again, done the same, pull a Sonic Mania like we did earlier back in Carnival Night Zone. Boy, was that fun. And just like that, I'll gladly accept my neat collection of 999 rings, and just like that, there it is, Flying Battery Zone, where Robotnik pretty much just goes to retreats to, I should say. Even though you can even control, you kind of have a bit of control over the characters when it comes to the cutscenes themselves. Another change they made in Origins. But anyways, Flying Battery Zone, another infamous zone in this game. So infamous they even brought it back in Mania, obviously. Though in Mania they made this one a lot longer, since this one was originally pretty... I'd say this one only took about an average of 5 minutes to beat. each act in the zone at least, to put it that way. So there you go, you gotta love the animations, pretty neat. And as always, yet again, platforming's a thing too. Also convenient to point out that this actually even might be that one airstrip from the beginning of the game. To be fair, it does look pretty identical. Can definitely see the resemblance. Like the only difference being color pattern, just like that, beautiful. I've yet again proven I can even get hit in the most inconvenient ways possible. One of the many reasons why you could even just bother making these discoveries altogether, just like that. Inconvenience strikes back once more. Didn't even know the platforms could hurt you, but oh well. There you have it, in case you didn't know. So like that, and beautiful, how convenient. Yeah, we have 60 rings, and you know what that means. Yes, that means we get to use Hypersonic once we get to the boss. That band is really making me hesitate, so rest in peace. You're not going anywhere. Anyways, here we go again. Not today, thank you. They even changed the super theme a lot throughout the Sonic games. In Sonic 3, when you were in the super form, the music was just the same as the one in the title screen, or as the invincibility theme. But then in Sonic and Knuckles I meant to say, it was just about the same theme as the one in the title. I want to go up. Is that an option? Doesn't look like it. Oh, never mind, it is. Thank you. There it is. Thanks, convenience. I never go this way. Though conveniently, there's a special stage here which will reveal. When you're just about to reveal, just push spikes. And just like that, congratulations. Give yourself a good old pat on the back now. And conveniently, we're even further within the level. How convenient. Conveniently, another spiking push here. Would you look at that? Can this get any more convenient? We're about to even get an extra life. What did I tell you? Beautiful. Even balance off the many capsules within too, since they don't contain flickies. Except for this one. This one contains batniks, so we're restoring the batnik population. We've done something good today. Thank you. And just like that, we're at the boss. Well, let's ruin this guy's life, shall we? Even gonna love the humorous animation with Super Sonic. How it just makes life look like it just makes everything look like a total joke. Which, to be fair, it is. Any day now. Thank you. And again, just goes to show the convenience of robotics and drivers, how they literally just kill themselves. Boy, is that just remarkable? There it is. He's pretty much just getting the mosquito experience here, where we basically just bait him into attacking himself. And just like that, that is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen, and on to Act 2 we go. It only took 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Meanwhile, in Sonic Mania, that if we didn't glitch through or anything like that, it would probably take about 5 minutes or so. Anyways, Act 2, oh boy. Here we go again. Would you look at that, we've done something the intended way for once. That's something definitely to be noted. Worth noting, I should say. And just like that, inconvenience strike back once more. Thank you. I absolutely needed that. Anyways, let's pay my good old friend Suffocation a visit or two, shall we? Because it is pretty dang easy to suffocate here. But I will say, the music is again just as memorable as always. Unforgettable if I do say so myself. Well, here we go again. Spin Dash. Definitely don't want to fall off. No, thank you. Rest in peace, Cells. He really is tired of inconvenience, isn't he? You will be missed. I'm keeping the electric shield for now. Okay, hope I don't regret. Beautiful. Rest in peace, Cells. You'll be missed. Even he's tired of dying to suffocation. I don't blame him. It's something no one wants to experience, definitely. Anyways, back to destroying the game, shall we? Well, here we go. Just relentlessly using the super abilities right now. And boy, is that to be fair, you're pretty much bound to at this point. If you really want to make the game look like a total joke, too. Here we go. Any day now, thank you. Rest in peace, you will be missed. Not gonna lie, the jet sound effect in the Sonic games are pretty funny to listen to. Fortunately, can't push that for now. Rest in peace, Tails. We really switched spots. Tails is really just dying to suffocation now. Boy, poor guy. He knows what it feels like to face the enemy that is suffocation 99% of the time. Rest in peace. Anyways, going up. Pretty sure there was even a special stage here. No, never mind, there wasn't. That was another pillar, which you missed. Beautiful, since we went the other way. And just like that, there it is, the good old Doctor himself. And welcome to that one. And welcome to that one boss that pretty much resembles the one in Wing Fortress Zone. Where you can conveniently, there's actually two ways to even beat this boss. You can either A, kill it as supersonic, or B, let it use the genius that is the robotic contraptions and let it destroy itself by waiting for it to attack you a couple times. Boy, is that just remarkable, but boy, to be fair, you gotta love robotics reacting every time you beat one of his contraptions. It's just unforgettable if I do say so myself. Anyways, Tails, please do me a favor here, thank you. What did I tell you? Didn't even need platforms. Welcome to Sonic. And we're off. And just like that, the destruction of that one mini-boss has led to the destruction of Flying Batter as a whole, as half the level has literally just collapsed within a moment's notice. But anyways, there it is. There's the good old Robotnik yet again. And we're about to do this with no rings, too. And I'm out. Rest in peace. Just like that, what did I tell you? Pretty sure he's almost dead, too. Oh goody, any minute now. Just like that, what did I say? And just like that, he died. No hesitation whatsoever. I would really appreciate the camera did us a favor, but there he goes. Rest in peace, Robotnik. Not gonna lie, it would have been funny if we were able to glitch the camera yet into thing we were at the capsule by now. Something that is an unforgettable memory if I do say so myself. And just like that, welcome to everyone's favorite zone in Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles Sand Goblets, which is pretty much the marble zone of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, to put it that way. It works pretty technically since there are a lot of switches here and a lot of things you have to push and a lot of waiting too. Kind of. And obviously, suffocation is yet again a thing here, as always. It's just a thing with the Sonic games now. Apparently. Also worth pointing out how originally, fun fact, Flying Batter was meant to take place before... was originally meant to take place right before Ice Cap Zone. It was pretty convenient since originally that snowboard, quote unquote, that Sonic was supposed to slide to snowboard down the mountain, was originally meant to be debris from the airship. There's another interesting fact. This goes to show how the original layout for most of these zones before they were divided into due to the McDonald's promotion yet again. It was so funny saying that too. Anyways, here we go. Rest in peace. Settings always you are the ones that always tend to hit me in this stage. So here we go. Going down. Have the time quicksand just revealed another way throughout the level rather than anything else. Oh no. Oh, never mind. I guess that's the thing. We nearly glitched Tails' animation. Fantastic. For a second, I thought I was gonna die there, but inconvenience saved me. So there's that. The one time it acts as a benefit. To me, at least. Anyways, here we go. Back to swinging around loops and bouncing from one end to another, from left to right, in other words, or from point A to point B. You know how it makes it look how Sonic is just climbing a mountain right now. It's just You gotta love details if you know what I mean. You have that feeling of an archaeologist right now. This is a desert after all. And what? If I'm also being honest with you, I'd say by far South Island, or Angel Island I meant to say, why do I keep saying South Island? It's probably by far the biggest island we've ever encountered in the original series. Given the amount of stones present and their length too. And honestly makes it look like a country as a whole rather than just a floating island. If you know what I mean, at least. No hidden monitor there, anyways. And look at that, we didn't have 59 rings, which were immediately lost to inconvenience, and because the controller didn't register my input. So rest in peace, Hypersonic. You'll be missed. Tails, it's not a good time to fly. I'm sorry. Anyways, we're going up. Here we go. Rest in peace. Anyways, why yes, the patient game, my favorite game of all time. Here we go. Any day now. It's been 3 minutes. Come on. We're clearly trying to speedrun right here. So. To be fair, Act 1 isn't all that long. Act 2 is a lot longer. Or longer, I should say. Because they both have their own unique paths you can take. Mostly depends which ways you actually go. It just results in the amount of time it takes to beat a level. There you go. I'm grabbing that, and we missed a giant ring. Beautiful. You clearly saw. Anyways, moments of patience later, and we're almost at the mini boss. We could have gone up, and we would have found another giant ring, but it's fine. We're at the mini boss either way, so it's fine. Rest in peace, Tails. We missed. Yeah, just like that again. It goes to show the amount of connection the zones have in this game. Just as the pyramid just absolutely rises up out of nowhere, and revealing the inner depths of Sandopolis. And just like that, you guessed it, it's time for a mini-boss. One of the more unique ones too, if I do say so myself, since you can't actually hurt this robotic contraption. You actually have to let it, yet again, as always, let it kill itself. So what you want to do here is you want to lure it to the pit of quicksand, and then knock it down there to then let it sing and let it kill itself, pretty much. And don't worry, it doesn't sound like shockwaves or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about getting stunned or anything. Don't worry. Well, it does look like it. You're fine. One more jump. A leap of faith. And rest in peace. You will not be missed by any means. And just like that is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. Bouncing to somewhere else. Thank you. Always satisfying to do that. Oh, wow. Can this get any more convenience? Jeez. Just look at that, and even in the quicksand. 10 out of 10. Can I get my monitor? The answer is no, as the AI has taken over for cutscene purposes. But anyways, it wouldn't have made much of a difference, since if we would have collected the monitor, it would have just reset back to 0 either way. So it's fine. Anyways, inside the pyramid we go. And we even have to hit switches this time, since ghosts are things, so... Well, we haven't encountered them yet. You recommend, for the most part, playing with the level lit up, for the most part, since if too much time goes by, and if you spend too much time in the dark, then if you spend too much time without pressing another switch, then the ghosts will spawn, and they can hurt you if it gets too dark, so do be on the lookout for that. Though it is big that there are ghosts in this, since, to be fair, pyramids are technically tombstones after all. Another curious fact. Just like that, we skipped most of the level, thank you. We definitely didn't need to switch. We're going onward. We're moving on. Gotta do something. And there it is. Perfectly timed ghost. Hello to you too, young man. Rest in peace. Oh no. Close call, if I do say to myself. Since again, half the time, once you're in the depths of Sandopolis, or in the pyramid, in other words, you definitely want to erase the switches, since if you take too long to even get it to a certain point, then the gate will close. So you do want to push these switches as far back as you possibly can, then navigate your way to the other end. Or towards the gate you were trying to open, at least. Anyways, just like that. For a second, I thought I was going to be back in the pit. Again, just goes to show inconvenience. Also pretty curious to see how just pressing once it just randomly lights up every candle in the pyramid. That's curious. Anyways, you have 71 rings. All you have to do is make it to the boss without getting hit, or without wasting all rings in hyper mode. Rest in peace. What did I tell you? Don't want to get too dark, or else again the ghost will hurt you. This is how we activated one of the many features related to sand. It is called Sandopolis for a reason, or two. So there you have it. A coincidence if I do say so myself. Anyways, here we go. Going up, as always. You could technically spin jump to push the switches a lot quicker, but it's fine. Whichever way you prefer, since sometimes it is tricky. It can be tricky trying to get the setup to push the switch at least. Speaking of switches, we just missed one, since again, sand proved to be an inconvenience, just like that. So, look at that, more walls. Gotta love that, as always. That even a replica of that one part in Marble Zone. This goes to show how similar Sandopolis is. The similarity between Sandopolis and Marble Zone in a way. Anyway, the ghost has been activated. You know what that means? Oh no. Thanks, Tails. Again, convenience strikes back. Right as they were about to attack us, and I'm glad they didn't. It's like, oh, okay, you know, or on second thought, you know what? Let Suffocation do all the work for you. Yeah, sure. Now we have to play throughout this entire sequence, and just because of wanting to play Talk Souls, and not to mention that we are inches away from the checkpoint, which is clearly the best part of all. Another reason as to why I love Sandopolis so much. We'll say it's a creative zone, though it could have been better. Not to mention you can't even hurt the ghosts. You just have to dodge them and make sure not to get hit by them or run into them at least. Means they can't hurt you now. Just like that, what did I tell you? I can't hurt them. And I missed a switch too. Beautiful. Oh, would you look at that? Look at what a coincidence. Can this get any more convenient? No, Sam. To answer your question, I'm playing alone. Though, speaking of which, you just gave me an idea. If you guys do want me to make some co-op videos in the future, whether it be with a Sonic game or with the Kirby games, again, be sure to comment down below, since I actually might get a guest for to actually come here and then play alongside with me if you wish. You still had a lot more variety to entertain, and now that you mentioned it, welcome to the stream, Sam. Nice to see you here again. We're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, since we're playing the entire trilogy and we're gonna 100% it. Not to mention that this is hypothetically the 4th game in the timeline after Sonic 2, of course. Since Sonic CD was supposed to be the true sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog 1, so or the Genesis at least. Or actually, no, that's a lie. Canonically, this game would be the 5th game in the series. Again, the Game Gear game takes place before... The Game Gear Sonic 1 takes place before the Genesis Sonic 1, so... We're having more lore. Or canonically, this could also be the 6th game if we count that one obscure arcade game... If we count that one Sega Sonic arcade game. It goes really deep, too. It is pretty curious to see. Anyways, I don't think we can go that way, so we're going this way, clearly. Oh boy, no, I just hope I can find a checkpoint. That way I don't suffocate to death and then have to do this all over again. Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, here we go. What did I say? All part of my master plan. and conveniently have more than 50 rings. You know what that means. Or doing this again, definitely. Anyways, I'm pretty sure there's even a giant ring over here, if I remember correctly, at least. Never mind. This is actually the intended way you're supposed to go. Oh, goody. Back to hitting Switch is my favorite. Not today, thank you. Another time. Hitting this again, the only reason I actually bother going that way is just to hit the Switch. That way the ghost wouldn't hit me. Or wouldn't attack me, I meant to say. Anyways, here we go again. Oh, goody. And just like that, even here to the boss. What a coincidence. And we have 113 rings, a recollection if I do say so myself. Anyways, let's teach the good old doctor a lesson or two, shall we? He's just about dead, and this is one of the easier bosses too. Just like that. 10 seconds later and he's dead. Rest in peace, Robotnik, you'll be missed. Just like that, that is Xandopoulos, gentlemen, and that is Act 2 for that matter, and you know what that means, on the Lava Roof Zone. One of the final stages in the entire game. Here we go. Gotta love that soundtrack. Same with the Xandopoulos boss fight, it's one of the more creative ones too. Curious to see the work behind all it, but again, it is pretty easy as all the other boss fights. Anyways, we've just about reached the climax of the story right about now, and as we've already reached Lava Roof Zone. One of the most memorable zones in the entire package. So memorable they even brought it back in Mania, alongside the other zones I previously mentioned. Anyways, back to platforming we go. Oh goody. What abomination awaits ahead. Not today, thank you, I'm avoiding the lava. All clearly for the better. And I'm obviously getting the checkpoint for obvious reasons. You definitely don't want to get in and then start from square one now, do you? Nah, can this get any more convenient? We even have 57 rings. Could go a hybrid right now if I wanted to, but I'm saving it for later. Rest in peace. Just have the bandits have the enemies in this game literally just kill themselves. Boy, is that remarkable, and does it get dark. Fantastic. Lovely. And just like that, I even lost my rings to that one boss with Sonic Mania. That died in a matter of a cutscene. Fantastic. Not to mention that I usually combo that one obscure enemy. Though unfortunately it is pretty obvious to see the reason as to why they didn't bother implementing this process. It probably would have played a bit too identically to the one in Marvel Garden Zone. They do share an identical model too. And hypothetically, they also are the same robotic contraption, too. Anyways, 2 giant rings in a row. Boy, can this get any more convenient. Look at that, 133, that's a record. Nice. They even put a spring there, but they really felt that evil, didn't they? Here we go again, we're just going as plain Sonic for now, since I don't want to risk suffocating to death within the first 10 seconds of using the hyper character. And that way the stiffness of the controls doesn't actually lead towards my death to an inconvenient obstacle. No thank you. That is exactly why we have the elemental shields, ladies and gentlemen. They all serve a specific function, to protect you at all costs. Except suffocation, since that is just the one inconvenience in this game that is almost unavoidable, so here we go. And just, would you look at that? I lost my shield to one enemy. These guys. They don't directly hurt you, but if you do get sprayed by them, I recommend mashing the jump button as much as you can. That way you're aware of the effect, since all that effect really does is just make you not jump as high, but if you spend too much time in that effect, it will hurt you, so do be careful. One other way to quickly get rid of it was by killing the enemy himself. It's the enemy himself, so there's another tip. Not today, thank you. Here you go, we're going down. When it comes to these elevators themselves, if you spin dash left, you'll go down. If you spin dash right, you'll go up. Just in case if you're wondering about the controls, do want to keep that in mind. Patience is key. Beautiful, we have to go down. As always, and just like that, inconvenience has killed me Inconvenience has proven to be my worst enemy once again, after suffocation, of course. Anyways, and look at that. Look at the convenience. We were moments away from the boss. Anyways, that's the first pillar. We'll say one of the later boss fights in this game, since this boss really is just a preparation for the final boss in the game, which we'll get into later. Though it also does share some similarity to the one in to the boss in Oil Ocean Mania. To be fair, this was before that game ever released, so it's somewhat original. Beautiful. We got hit. Beautiful. Fantastic. We're one ring. In other words, nowhere near enough to get the hybrid characters. Beautiful. And just like that, with that lazy boss out of the with that final boss practice out of the way to put it that way. That is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. On to Act 2 we go. Oh goody. You gotta love the music in the transition. Yes, physics has obviously taken over, and just like that, lava cooled within 2 seconds. It's obviously logical and 100% according to physics. So there you have it. This has once again been ruined. Oh, thank you, thanks, Kim. I do appreciate the suffocation. You're already getting greeted me with the greatest obstacle of all, suffocation. Thank you. That is more than appreciated. Would you look at that? More hitboxes. Thank you. Anyways, definitely don't want to hit those robotic waters since they hurt you. Obviously. Well, we're going up as always. Since again, you know the one thing I always say about level design when it comes to Sonic, go up. Since again, when it comes to Sonic alone, the level design isn't as linear as most platforms like the Mario games. And for that reason, they sound a lot more. I like the way they're narrated down. They're all narrated down as a whole. To be honest with you, since when it comes to the Sonic level design, it's usually about just taking the path you desire to take. What do you need? It gives you all the more freedom to choose where you want to go, at when. Nice. And again, precision. Just like that. What did I say? Anyways, back to losing rings. That's always a good sign. Anyways. Platforming pearls. No thank you. We're out of here. Thank you. Rest in peace, those who will be missed. Back to going up. Oh goody. My favorite. Mentioned that literally a minute ago or so. Looks like we want to go down. Fantastic. That's a first. Patience. Oh boy, here we go again. Hypothetically speaking, with the knowledge of just phasing through walls with great speeds in mind, you could hypothetically, if you build up enough speed, you could just bypass entire stages or levels alone. If you do end up outrunning the camera itself, so again. The way collision usually worked back in the day was usually with items with materials or with sprites or frames, to put it that way, on screen, with everything off screen just unloading, which was another way they saved data. Fun fact, which also explains why glitches like skipping bosses and fading through walls are possible. It's because the collision hasn't loaded yet, and you can basically just bypass them entirely if you're quick enough, before it even gets a chance to properly load as intended. Again, supersonic speed, you gotta love that. Anyway, with that clear fact out of the way, here it is, the one magic stare in speedrunning. If we had the original cartridge, we could technically pull that glitch off, but this is Origin, so we're not doing that, so let's pay Knuckles, our good old buddy, a visit or two, shall we? And he gave up on using switches, and this time using his boulder. Oh no. I'm surprised we haven't even suffocated to death within the first 10 seconds or so. Or less. And just like that, beautiful. Gotta love that shot of the death. Again, Robotnik has successfully activated the thing as he pretty much established a new base in the volcano itself, completely going from controlling the flow rate of lava just controlling the flow rate of lava itself, just to then relaunch the death thing back into orbit. This all goes pretty deep and adds up too, you know. But you gotta love the shot of the death egg. It really just shows the inner parts of Lava Reef Zone and the volcano itself, to put it that way. Anyway, it's something with Hyper here, but again, when it comes to platforming, it is not recommended to actually access super cards, since again, they control a lot more stiffly than normal, so. Here we go. I recommend, as always, grinding the fire scroll since it makes you immune to fire. Rest in peace, cells, you will be missed. Hypothetically, just drop down, and just like that, we're here. And as always, Robotnik can literally just break physics as he has learned the ways of controlling the fluid of molten rock itself, and just like that, obstacles are coming towards us now. But to be fair, this boss takes a lot more. This is one of the slower bosses in this game, so you can't hurt him directly. You have to again get him to kill himself, as always. This is every boss in Sonic 3 Knuckles in a nutshell, or in Sonic and Knuckles at least. They kill themselves 90% of the time. It's that remarkable. Anyway, one Hyper. That might as well make this fun entertaining. Any day now. Just standing still. Tails clearly looks like he's having the time of his life right now, as what just completely taking this as if this was a water slide right now. Good gosh. Anyways, there it is. Gotta love the funny animations. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. 76 rings remain, and just like that, Robotnik's almost dead. Any day now. Trying to make this as fast as possible. Please bear with me. Normally the flash that always appears when you go hyper, it normally kills every enemy on screen. Fun fact. There's another thing that makes Hypersonic overpowered. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with bosses, so it only works with badniks. So there's that. You do have to balance some things, you know, and there you have it. Lava is once again cooled down within 2 seconds, which is obviously 100% according to physics, and we've broken a couple laws of physics on the way, but just like that, welcome to the Hidden Palace Zone. Or the Hidden Palace of Angel Island Zone, to be more specific, if we're not counting the zone from... If we're not counting that one obscure Hidden Palace Zone from Sonic 2. Was originally meant to actually be a thing. But it didn't, since time got in the way. They had less than a year to... They had just slightly more than a year to develop the game, and there wasn't a lot of time. But I'm glad they added the Hidden Palace from Sonic 2. That was originally meant to be in Sonic 2 back in Origins. You gotta love it. Anyway, it's our good old boy Knuckles the Echidna, and okay, we have to fight him now, and he puts up an interesting fight. And I'm being honest, not really. This guy goes down. Just look at this. Clearly the most intense fight of all. Just what is this? He puts up a better fight. I've seen bosses. I know I said the bosses in Sonic 3 are easy, but come on, it could have been better. But to be fair, I do love this shot with all the super emeralds activated. It just goes to show the inner depth. And just like that, it has finally been revealed to us that Robotnik was planning to actually use the Master Emerald for himself, and he was the one after it, not Sonic. So there it is. He's betrayed Knuckles just like in the movie, and he's off with the Master Emerald. As he wants to use that to power the Death Egg robot 2.0 to be more specific. And just like that, Knuckles even comes to realize that we were the ones trying to save the island. They were the ones originally trying to save the island from Robotnik, and finally decides to help us. In other words, the time where he officially becomes our friend, to put it that way. Just unfortunately, he hardly has any energy left. Since to be fair, we just finished beating him up a few seconds earlier. Anyway, Sky Sanctuary Zone, we've officially reached the climax. Congratulations. And just like that, Robotnik has successfully repowered the Death Egg once more, and just like that, he's launched it back into orbit alongside some more badniks conveniently coming out of it to stop us. Because apparently when it comes to Robotnik contraptions, Sonic can just get there no matter what, so... Robotnik really took an additional, more precautions time, and thanks Knuckles, you even got to see his gliding ability. That's always fun to see. Anyway, Sky's Entry Sonic, gotta love this music, it's so memorable. One of the most unforgettable moments in the entire package itself, as you pretty much just breathe through Sky's Entry Zone, just destroying each badnik that gets in the way. which don't really put much of a fight. They just fire one or two lasers and then that's it. You're bound to kill him by the time you try to fire the second one, so. Well, unfortunately, this wasn't the case with every bad because one of them does, as canonically, Sonic supposedly kills them all except one. One survivor remains, which eventually ends up becoming Knuckles' the new robotic for Knuckles, in other words. And speaking of robotic, there it is. There is a new iteration of a robot Sonic, Mecha Sonic, and boy, this guy hardly puts up a fight. He's one of the in my opinion, he's even easier than Knuckles. For the first two portions of Sky's entry, he really just uses reused boss assets from Sonic 1 and 2. This one being the one from Sonic 1 in Green Hill Zone, and then the other one's from Metropolis Zone, which with the balloons and all that stuff. Do gotta love the additional details. We'll give it that though. Anyways, back to speeding through levels as if this was Stardust Speedway. Definitely feels like it though. Anyways, onwards. I feel like we're going the wrong way, but it's fine. Never mind, we're going the right way. I think. Never mind, we're going. Okay. Never mind, we went the wrong way. We just went backwards. Fantastic. I am so proud of myself. We wasted about a minute or two. Fantastic. Oh, here we go. We have to go right. See, the #1 rule when it comes to platformers: never stop holding right. Or never stop going right, I should say. Unless you're curious like me and you want to get all the, unless you're going for all the giant rings, obviously. Or if you haven't gotten them all. Anyways, here's the boss of Metropolis, which, in my opinion, it's a lot. The iterations from past bosses are a lot easier than ever before now. So just look at this. He's not as high as he once was, and you only have to kill all his badniks. For all the balloons, you just have to land hits on them in time, if you're precise enough, at least. Anyways, we're almost there. Just a matter of destroying more badniks, and we'll be there in no time, hopefully. Here we go again. Oh goody. Oh, would you look at that? Nice. I even fell back down. Do want the additional rings though. We will be, since Megasonic will eventually decide to fight us, but conveniently right before we even get to the Death Egg, so you might as well make this boss look like a joke, since to be fair, he's, in my opinion, the easiest boss in the entire game, since he hardly puts up a fight. I could even go as far as saying that his patterns could even be relatable to the Silver Sonic fight in Sonic 2 for the Game Gear, since that boss felt so much like an enemy. They actually made him an enemy in Sonic Mania. Anyways, we're almost there. We're almost at the boss fight. This pattern is also pretty easy to learn too. Beautiful. Now the bandits are completely invading Sky Sanctuary Zone and completely just hunting the flickies down in our place. Beautiful. Well, I actually said they accidentally began hunting flickies while trying to find us. And just like that, there it is. There's our good old boy, Mecha Sonic. Boy, he hardly puts up a fight. His pattern's pretty easy to learn. It looks like he puts up a good fight, but let's be honest, he goes down in less than a minute, just like that. We won't be seeing until we fight you as Knuckles again, so rest in peace. As I always say, for a boss that's this easy, it was one of the sturdier robotic inventions. He could take a decent amount of hits and still get right back into the action. Because you pretty much just beat him twice, and he's still at as if nothing had ever happened before. Never puts up a good fight until he gets the Master Emerald, and boy, spoiler alert, we'll get into that later. Anyways, one more beautiful transition later, and we've reached the Death Egg, pretty much as always, for the second time now. And boy, which is a huge step up from the one in Sonic 2, since the one in Sonic 2 was there just for the sake of having the final boss and the Silver Sonic fight. But here, it's a huge step up. If anything, here it feels a lot more relatable to the Death Star than anything else. I mean, if you don't believe me, then just look at the background and just look at the name itself. Welcome to the Death Egg. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Easier done than said. What did I tell you? We're almost there. Just A few more moments of playing with gravity and we'll be there in no time, hopefully. Say, one of my favorite zones in this game again, just because of its amazing creativity. Pretty memorable one too, and you gotta love the music too. It all perfectly comes together and sums up. And I can't get past this to one obstacle. Beautiful. Anyways, here we go again. That's lovely. Yet again, a matter of collecting ranks, and these should be there in no time, hopefully. Oh, thanks, Phil. So you can grab my boost for me. Thank you. Gotta love these intersections, these sections where you pretty much just put you to it, make it seem like as if this was a running start, a relay race. If I'm honest with you, pretty unnecessary. So it really doesn't get you any further than 2 meters or less. But it's pretty dang satisfying to watch. This is the way Sonic bounces around from one corner to another. Yes, indeed, on this fight, you are indeed correct. We're almost there. We just have to fight 2 more mini bosses and we're in Doomsday Zone. And we might as well. Cheesing the death egg while we're at it, or every zone in existence, since obviously wouldn't be a P game without elaborate skips. So here we go. We're at it again. Just adding a few more seconds to our countdown timer before it wears off. Should have waited, especially since you have to deal with this part. Oh, thanks, Sales. You even did me a favor. See what I tell you. The AI, by all means, does not get in the way. And just like that, we've activated them all. Now just gotta get to the other side, if the game lets me. Thank you. You know, you can even play with gravity and the egg and all that stuff, too. Anyhow, back to racing. It's pretty, yet again, satisfying to watch as always. Take me to the next floor, thank you. Here we go again. Oh, look at that, how convenient, another one. Skills nearly took it. Say, it's pretty cute to watch, even pretty silly how the AI messes around. Just a nice decoration too, if you know what I mean. So there we go, back to looping. Unsatisfying yet unnecessary. But anyways, here we go. Roser, would you look at that? Word of the boss, what did I tell you? All part of my master plan. It all came out together. He's almost dead. He puts him about a fight mania since he can do the impossible and control gravity. Like that. You don't have the super charisma, just be sure not to get hit by the 2 platforms. And just like that, he doesn't put much of a fight. And that is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen, if I do say so myself. Beautiful. That is another part of the Death Egg destroyed, if I do say so myself. We're really starting to treat it as if this was a Star Wars film by now. Just look at this. Thank you. With more of the Death Egg destroyed, up we go. And either way, we're putting an end to this for good. If we can actually get to the other side, give me a sec. Thank you. Here we go. Let's teach the good old doctor a lesson he'll never forget, and put an end to the Death Egg for good. Don't even need the shield, since we're dealing with electricity here, not fire. Just like that, done and done. So here we go again. Want to go right, as always. Okay, even got to see that one enemy spawning in out of nowhere. Since it just loaded, just like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll gladly take that monitor wall. Thank you very much. Now you can skip half the level now. Whoopie-doo. Just like that. Done and done. Oh, you are on the wrong side. Hit gravity once more. Beautiful. Might as well break a few lots of physical, right? This is a game after all, so we're fine. It's not like we've done it about... It's not like we've seen like 10 more... It's not like this happened 10 million times before or anything like that. This is fine. Anyway, I lost my shield to one obstacle, and just like that, conveniently, let's deal with another section. We were only minutes away from this. Neat. See, a lot of the hidden secrets in this game are pretty easy to find, since most of the time we're just guaranteed to be running into walls absently. Anyways, here we go. The spring. Thank you. Thank you again. Double nice, in other words. I can't get off here, thank you. Oh, thank you. Inconvenience strikes back again. I was definitely not saving those rings for later or anything like that, don't worry. This is fine. Anyway, here we go, back to dealing with gravity. Nice. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love it. One of the more creative parts of a level if I do say so myself. There you go, back upside down and left, right, left, right. It's the easiest way to remember the spring pattern here. Just like that, what'd I say? Nice. Well, you have to go this way, so you have to change gravity. With a loss of gravity, at least. Just like that, beautiful. Nice. Okay, so here we go again. To balance the scale now. Thank you, I appreciate the enthusiasm, guys. Or the encouragement, thank you. Whichever one both of which are greatly appreciated, thank you. I'm having the time of my life right now. Just like that, done and done. Almost earned, just like that, it's been 3 minutes. Here we go again, beautiful. Missed that by an inch, here we go, attempt 2. First try. Anyways, here we go again. Oh goody. Tails just dropped in right in the nick of just in the nick of time. Thank you. Any minute now. Thank you. Going this way. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that! Look at me. We're encountering one of these intersections every 5 minutes. Every 5 seconds, I meant to say. Beautiful. I still can't talk now. Beautiful. That went well. By all means. Anyways, we're almost there. Can we even have 52 rings? We're almost the boss. Trust me. Please bear with me. I should also point out that you can only unfortunately use the elemental shields if you're playing as Sonic. If you're playing as any other character like Knuckles, Tails, or Enemy, you can't use them since their own abilities override the effects the shield gives you, or the abilities the shield gives you at least. It's pretty sad, but anyways, gives you all the more motivation to play as Sonic, as originally intended. Anyways, here we go. That was very poorly timed indeed. Never mind, done and done. Here we go again, fantastic. Nice. Ooh, combo, gotta love that. Indeed I am, I'm hesitating a bit, but I'm gonna go hyper right now. Give me a sec, thank you. Just like that, what'd I tell you, all part of my master plan. Beautiful, I missed. I did not mean to go that way. It's fine. Oh, here we go again. Fantastic. Just like that. Don't even hit the first 4. I don't even think the first 4 hits even counted because they hit them from the other way around. But anyways, here we go again. And as you probably noticed, you can't directly hurt this guy. You have to yet again use the genius that is behind the genius that is behind the robotic projectiles and let them kill and use their own weapons against them. As always, nothing new here. So the only thing that is apparent here is the timing. Since you do want to spin that into them, that way you send them flying up towards the mini boss. And boy, you gotta love robotics reaction. And anyways, just like always, and this is physiologically and logical, by the way, he can literally outrun us, and Tails didn't even outrun him. Beautiful. That's first, and just like that, it's time for the final boss. Jetpack Robot 2.0. Oh boy, here we go again. This is about to end well. Well, say a huge step up from the last boss. Last boss wasn't as large, and as obviously shown, it's being powered by the Master Emerald. Since again, convenience. That's what Robotnik wanted to use the Master Emerald for in the first place. To power up his to make an invincible army of badniks using the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald. Oh boy, here we go. Phase 2. In this phase, I recommend you let Tails get the hits for you. That way, he accidentally doesn't get a hit for you, and then the invincibility claim doesn't override your death. Doesn't override the hit, sending you towards your death. That's as shown the example, since Tails just got over the experience. But what you want to do here is every time you want to hit his nose. Once you hit his nose, his weak point will expose, and then you want to hit it, and then you want to jump immediately after. That way you don't get hit by the laser. Just again, be careful. Tails doesn't hit him first. Just hit him first, or else he'll die. He'll send you falling to your death. So you might as well let him do most of the work. But anyways, he hardly put up a fight, and just like that, Robotics is yet again trying to make a break for using the Master Emerald, but we're not having none of that, obviously. So here we go again. Let's put an end to him for good. So close. And we're not falling off. We have to fight him again after this, by the way. Spoiler alert. Ace. Tension is surely building up over here, and rest in peace, Tails. He got himself killed, and just like that, the Master Emerald has been required, a question mark. Anyways, just like that, the Death Egg has been somewhat destroyed, which leads into the final zone in the entire game, the Doomsday Zone. Since we got all the Hyper Emeralds, so let's put an end to Robotic for good, shall we? Here we go. Just gotta avoid the asteroids. You definitely don't want to run into those. Don't ask how I know. Nice. They're doing so well right now. Anyways, here we go. I'm glad to be showing this off all live, since previously we did this as Supersonic, because we didn't get all the Hyper Emeralds. This is yet again pretty bad on my part, but again, this is the point of this live stream, so this is pretty much the main emphasis of the live stream. So here you go. Definitely want to grab all the rings while I'm at it. It's coming in so choppy, but it's fine. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Could even first jump on again to speed a lot of this up. Since we're using Hypersonic, so we can just do this, and already we'll be caught up to him. Beautiful. 79 rings. Just be sure not to run out of range, or else the stage will end and you will die. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to use his missiles against them. You want to make sure they run into him. Again, it's the genius behind Robotic strategies. They literally kill themselves half the time. Just like that. That was completely by accident, but anyways, he's almost dead. Just like that. Couple more hits to go, and he should go down relatively quickly. Just like that, almost done. One more missile. And what did I tell you? That's phase 1, ladies and gentlemen. Now on to phase 2. Really mashing the jump button the jump button right now, since we have to yet again chase after Robotic, and that's not the boss. That's not it yet. There he is. He's making one more break for using the Death Egg robot. Or a smaller version of the Death Egg robot, at least. Anyways, here we go. You might as well just spam the jump button, and you'll catch up to it in no time. You don't have to worry about the rings. Just like that. We're almost done. A few minutes to go. It's by far the easiest boss in the entire game, apart from Mechasonic. And just like that, that is it. We've recovered the Master Emerald. First try, obviously. And just like that, that concludes Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Beautiful. It's beatable without Hypersonic, but Hypersonic does make it a lot easier, since, again, normally when you press the jump button again, does he speed up the hit? Does his speed increase? But it also increases the speed of the artist scroller itself. So you definitely want to be sure to mash half the time, since it is one of the quickest ways to actually beat the final boss. But anyway, as I was saying, just like that, the Death Egg has officially been destroyed for good, and the Master Emerald has been acquired, and Robotics fans have been foiled once more, and just like that, back to Angel Island we go to restore the Emerald to its former owner, and restore the island to its former glory as well. Just like that, as Angel Island has once again recovered its ability to float, and the once floating island has once again been restored. There it is, as it once again takes to the sky. It is called Angel Island for a reason, so there you have it. And there it is. With that out of the way, Knuckles even recovered Knuckles' Master Emerald back, and just like that, one more goodbye as we yet again fly into the sunset. As every elaborate story concludes, just like that, and there it is. There's your satisfying ending, and that is pretty much the end of the Sonic trilogy, at least if we're talking Sonic-wise. And this is not where the story ends just yet, as we have to do this again, but this time with Knuckles the Echidna himself. Do stay tuned for that, so for that will come later, but just like that, credits roll. And they even carried on the tradition of combining every soundtrack and every stage theme into once for the staff roll. You gotta love it. And these are the real names too, by the way, so do appreciate it altogether if you wish. So you got the good ending, so Whoopee 2, I guess, as we got all the Super Emeralds and the Chaos Emeralds reached their true potential. A fun experience indeed, that is an unforgettable fun experience indeed. It's optional to go for this the Super Emeralds are even optional too. If you want, you can play Sonic and Knuckles part of the cartridge as Super Sonic if you don't feel like looking for more giant rings. If you wish, though, you won't get the good ending though. It'll still take you to Doomsday, sure, but again, it won't make much of a difference. Just like that. You even have to wait until you have to beat Robotnik in launch phase when you even get access to the Super Emerald, since you have to watch a cutscene first, and before that, then you're stuck as Super Sonic. Since the giant rings don't directly transport you to Hidden Palace Zone, they transport you to the Spell Stages themselves, I should say. All satisfying together, and it all wraps up with Sky Sanctuary Zone yet again. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, done and done. Really gotta appreciate the amount of work put into this. A masterpiece indeed. That is to be more than ever before remembered and recommended. Again, do be sure to pick this up whenever you get a chance. If you haven't played this game, you're surely missing on an unforgettable experience. Since, boy, is this game a masterpiece. A fun one too. Just like that. Presented by Sega, as always. One more jingle of the theme. So yet again, transform to Hypersonic for the last time, and there it is. There's the thumbs up I was waiting for. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. The satisfying ending. There it is. You even got the good ending with every character. You even got the show with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and the newly added character Amy Rose from the DLC. There it is. And that's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. There you have it. And as always, one more cutscene as Robotnik yet again crash lands from Doomsday Zone, without a clue on what to do next, and eventually even gets ambushed by a Flicky, which, quote unquote, might be even the same Flicky from the beginning of the game. That is curious to know. It is the same. It is an identical bird. And just like that, Robotnik's life has been ruined once more, and that is it. Finn. And just like that, that wraps up Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. I highly hope you enjoyed my playthrough of the original trilogy, to put it that way. We beat Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic C, Sonic 2, and now Sonic 3 and Knuckles as Sonic and Tails as originally intended. With that, with all the Emeralds and the Super Emeralds, and with the hybrid characters all completely unlocked. I significantly hope you guys enjoyed my playthrough of this video. I had a decent amount of fun making this whole together, and I highly recommend you play this game and you pick it up whenever you get a chance, as previously mentioned. But anyways, with that out of the way, do stay tuned for my next live stream. We'll cover Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles again, but this time we'll be playing the game as everyone's favorite character, Knuckles the Echidna himself. Which, speaking of which, there he is. To officially conclude the Death Egg saga, to put it that way, but in which you have to yet again do everything, get all the Emeralds and all the Super Emeralds once more, but this time as Knuckles to even get the good ending, which pretty much again concludes the original story as a whole. But again, that is a video for another day. Which, speaking of which, will premiere as the same time as always on Saturday. This time at 12 p.m. MST, at the same time as I always live stream. For tomorrow, I won't be able to live stream since tomorrow other plans got in the way, and I do apologize. I won't be able for the lack of uploads tomorrow, though I will try my best to make up for it on Saturday. But anyway, or in other words, on July 8th. For those of you wondering. But anyway, with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed my playthrough of Sunday Hedgehog 3 Knuckles, and I wish you all a fantastic day. Until next time, everyone, do take care. See you next time. Goodbye.